I'm ready. Good. Gelade, well done. A formidable fortress in the old style. We don't build them like this anymore, you know. Not by the sea. Too vulnerable to cannons.
What did you say?
Nothing.
That's what I like about you.
Beg your pardon?
You don't talk much.
I take it you've met Galvino.
You did right in parlaying with Baragon. Don't know that anyone else here is gonna see it that way, but I thought you should know.
You got the look of someone with his teeth around a secret.
My, but it's gotten warm in here.
Something else you need?
You've been busy since we last spoke. I want to thank you for what you've been doing for Stalwart.
How much did the old snake pay you, Sinahio?
Maestro Galvino and I came to an agreement. It was for the good of Stalwart. I thought...
You thought you'd let a killer walk among us?
Let's go.
Enough! What's on your mind?
Got to speak up? My hearing ain't what it was.
Sinove, please. If we go now, we can get behind the barricade. We won't do any good here.
We're gonna go down fighting. Anyone who feels differently can settle it with me right now. That name. It carries memories of death, war, fury, the taste of blood. What do you want with it? What trickery is this, stranger? You think a Pargrin would so easily betray her own people? You speak like one who knows me. Then you're not one of Zoltan's visiting merchants or Exandru's foreign zealots. You're one of us. Then let us share the words of our bond, brother. Did I nod off? My, but I had the strangest dream. So much work to be done. Pardon me, but I'd better check on those miners. At the rate they're going, it'll be another year before they clear that blazing shaft.
Olive brandy? Isn't that a tad expensive for a mercenary's wages?
It is if you pay in silver. I paid in steel.
That's the most senseless act of...
I traded a very nice dagger for it. What kind of bloodthirsty lunatic do you think I am?
One with exquisite taste.
Didn't think there was anything more than lice and hoarfrost to these folk, but you had a look back there. What do you find when you're rooting around like that? Mayhap I'm looking for someone. Woodcutter by the name of Harmka. It sure does. He was one of them. The mob that destroyed Cold Morn. I tracked him to Stalwart years ago, but got caught before I could finish my business. This man, Harmka, I saw him outside my house the night it burned, staring into the flames the way I seen you stare into souls. I knew it were a fool's errand trying to hunt down every man and woman that carried a torch into Cold Morn, but if I knew I got the one responsible for my kin and my hearth, I might could rest easy. I took a good long look that night. Ours was a little place with a yellow door right on the edge of town. He was there. Besides, I asked around when I first got to Stalwart. Townsfolk said that all the woodcutters in town took part in the purge. Point of pride for them. I told you he was part of the mob. I spotted him watching my house when it burned. But when we find him, I want to know if he's the one responsible for my home, my parents, and my brothers and sister. I never thought I'd have the chance to know for sure, but you could look into his soul and find out. You being a watcher and all. Mighty fine of you. Mighty fine indeed. Don't know where he dallies these days, but someone in Stalwart could tell us. People from little villages, they always know.
I'm ready.
Hey there. Let me know if you need anything. Harmka. Saw him head out some time ago. You can usually find him and some others out in the russet wood, felling trees.
Well, what are we waiting for?
The only way to be free of revenge is to never pursue it. Turn the other way and never look back.
Is there anything else? Take care. Hey there. Let me know if you need anything. Not so brave now, are you? What? Did I spill something on myself?
Does everyone else see that Stelgar in the undersized breeches?
How goes? Auroch's shadow. What's that wicked thing doing here? It's a killer! Look, we don't want no trouble. Just trying to do our work. We'd be much obliged if you'd leave us be. And take that thing with you. Just a woodcutter. Ask anyone in Stalwart. They'll tell you. Everyone does. Let the Raid Sarens into the Deerwood. What's that got to do with anything? What did you say?
I understand.
Does anyone have any extra rations? I did some white leaf, and now I'm very hungry.
How goes? Auroch's shadow. What's that? It's a killer! We'd be just a... Everyone does.
Almost 15 years I've been looking for him. Now I'd rather we never cross tracks. Good? I don't feel good. Just... Used to be I had something to hunger for. Stung at me night and day, but at least it was something. Now there's nothing. Not even that burn of wanting something. Just that look on his face. That's the one. After Cold Morn, folk used to leer at my burns, full of disgust. Or they'd realize who I was, and then it was the terror. Maybe hate. But this... the way Harmka looked at me. The way I've seen near everyone but you and Galvino look at me. All it did was remind me that this is a madman's fever dream. Like a prison. But no, because in a prison, you lay your head down and you feel the straw soft beneath you. Your flesh prickling in the cold, black bread crumbling on your tongue. I still dream I'm folk. I wake up some mornings wondering why I can't feel the floor beneath me, thinking I must have fallen and gone crippled. But then I lift my head, see a bronze corpse stretching out in front of me. It's not pity I want, it's a choice! I dream too of what Galvino did that night. Those moments. I'd endure another Cold Morn if it'd spare me this fate. It was after I got caught in Stalwart. They'd locked me in a little house by the inn, the old mayor and his cronies. When a crowd of them came for me in the dark of night, I was only surprised it had taken them so long. Only they didn't march me to no gallows. No, they snuck me to another house on the edge of town, real sneaky-like. That's where I met Galvino. He was fiddling with some machinery in his workshop. Had his sleeves rolled up even though it was cold enough to see your breath. Never actually looked at me until he started fitting some copper helmet over my head. By that time, the mayor's goons had me trussed up good and tight. Galvino was having himself a grand time barking orders at that lot. He'd agreed to hand me over to Galvino for an experiment. Claimed it was a fair punishment, but the townfolk weren't too pleased at being denied their stone pitching. Didn't help that they heard the jangle of copper in that deal. In the end, that's what sent Galvino and the old mayor packing. So while Galvino's fastening that helmet over my head and them copper bands around my arms, I'm starting to look at his contraption. And that's when I see it. It's this metal suit strapped into the machine just like me. A cold, dead-eyed thing, all done up with fancy carvings and such. The one. I start asking Galvino and the rest of them what's going on, but they're too busy to answer. Then suddenly, they're waiting, staring at me with that fixed, horrified look. But they ain't watching me. They're watching for something to happen. Galvino tells the woman nearest the machine to flip the handle. And then, just pain. Being torn apart every which way, feeling my soul peeled from my body. By the time I came to, I couldn't feel a thing. Just this dull, distant sort of ache. I think that was when I knew. I reckon I'm the wrong person for that sort of question. But if it cools your conscience, Galvino didn't get off easy. The rest of Stalwart didn't take kindly to having a killer in their midst, nor to seeing their mayor and the ornery Valians strike a secret deal. They drove Galvino out, destroyed a fortune in machinery, and wrote a letter to the Academy in Salona, ruining what was left of his name. Still, he's lucky he didn't get a pelting. The old mayor fled too, and Stalwart's been as snug and cheery as ever. You're better company than Galvino. Been a while since I were out in the world. Guess I'm keen on seeing more of it, even if I'm stuck with a bleeding heart. Anyways, I've been wondering about that fortress. Near everyone thinks it'll have just the thing they need. Those villagers wanted to fix up their brook downtown. Galvino always thought it carried some great secret of Animanson, and all them adventurers came looking for fancy gear. I don't know. Something to help me feel, or forget. Effigy's eyes, maybe just something new. I just figured, with those dwarves being expert smiths and all, maybe they had something to unmake me, put me back into my body. You really think so, huh? Well, ain't like you to blast hot air.
I'm ready.